Hi everybody, welcome to Khong Driving, and today is day 2 of the Toyota Gazoo Racing Festival in Batu Kawan, Penang. And the first race of the day is Super Sporting Category Race 2. And yesterday there were 8 cars that took part, and of course the winner yesterday was Tunku Jan, and so now he takes 6 grid for today. That is what you call a grid exchange, yeah. And Freddie Ang, you can see him on screen now. Car number 3, Freddie Ang, 27-year-old young driver, brother of Dominic Ang, who races supercars. And he, by virtue of his position as 6 overall, is now starting as in pole position. Okay, and next to him is William Ho, car number 39, who was in 5th position yesterday, and so he starts alongside Freddie Ang. And in 3rd position is Boy Wong, who was in 4th yesterday, and he now inherits 3rd grid. And next to him in 4th grid is Brandon Paul, who was 3rd yesterday, and in 5th grid is Mark Darwin, who was 2nd, and of course Tunku Jan is in 6th grid, and behind him is Shafiq Ali in 7th and Kenny Lee in 8th. Kenny Lee was in the lead yesterday when he hit the barrier, and so he didn't finish the race. So it's going to be a very interesting race. The obviously fastest driver yesterday was Tunku Jan, and because of that, he is in 6th grade, and of course Mark Darwin was 2nd, and because of the grid exchange, now the faster cars are at the back. But of course, Jan and Mark and Brandon Paul, the first 3 yesterday, they will be carrying weights. And Tunku Jan's car, you can see the weights as shown on his rear screen. I think he's running 50 kilos or 55 kilos of ballast. They call it victory ballast. Yeah, when you win something, you get weights added, and then if you don't finish in the podium, for every time that you don't finish in the podium, they'll take away 5 kilos. And so you see, Shafiq Ali is not carrying any ballast because he has not finished any race in the podium. Yeah. And so it's going to be a very interesting race. We did an interview with Tunku Jan and also with Mark Darwin, and of course also Freddie Ang, who is sitting on pole right now. So strategy for Freddie Ang is because it's so difficult to overtake, he's going to drive a clean race and stay in front. And if he can stay in front, that's Tunku Jan there, giving the thumbs up, and he's very cheerful because he won the race yesterday. And for Freddie Ang, the strategy is to try to finish the race clean without touching anything, especially the walls. And because it's so difficult to overtake, he hopes to stay in front of everybody else. And for Tunku Jan, he said that he will try to drive a clean race, don't hit anything, but he can go a little bit more aggressive today and try to make up 1 or 2 positions. And what he wants to do is to try to enter the final round in Sepang with maybe by finishing maybe in 5th or 4th. He'll try to get 1 or 2 positions to consolidate his position. But his points are quite high, and he should be okay even if he finishes 6th. But of course, being the opportunist that he is, he will try to improve his position as much as possible. Hi, with me is Chris Wee. You can't see him, but say hello to everybody.
Hello folks, how are you, and welcome to Batu Kawan Stadium in Penang.
Okay, that was Chris Wee. Well, he has his YouTube channel too, so if you like to watch cars, and especially doing up all the used cars and how to build cars, Chris Wee is the man. Yeah, and so you can go to his channel. It's called Chris Wee. And so we are now waiting for the start, and okay, the cameraman, you see the track is so narrow, they have to actually climb out of the way. Yeah, and so there's 5 minutes to the start. Look at the marshal with the dark glasses. At the end of the day, you'll see two, two round spots where his eyes are. You see a panda.
Selagi kereta safety car telah pun keluar daripada grid dan selagi pusingan telah pun bermula di mana pemandu-pemandu kita telah.
Okay, so the drivers right now are having a nice sauna in the car, and it's hot. It's hot, and I don't know if they are allowed to open the car doors. Maybe they are not. So right now, an air conditioner will be the best thing to have, although it's not very good for the race. So we will just stand by and wait. Camera is still rolling.
When it's going to be time to go, and also what the other drivers are going to be doing on track, because again,
So can you imagine what's going on in the minds of the drivers? Okay, that's Freddie Ang. You can see a bit of battle scar on his car. He hit the wall during qualifying and practice. So you can see the marks on the car. Yeah, that's his car on the right, just behind the marshal car. That is the what you call safety car. That's a Corolla, yeah. And behind all the Vios. Now all these cars are standard spec. Engine is standard, and gearbox is standard in manual, 5-speed manual. But all the cars are fitted with a TRD limited slip differential. TRD shock absorbers, they're coilovers, and you can adjust the height of the suspension. But I think springs are fixed, and shock absorbers are TRD, and other than that, the car is stock standard. Okay, so there is a roll cage. All the cars run exactly the same roll cage, and there is a strut brace, and all the cars run the same strut brace. So technically, all the cars are the same, and the only thing that you can do on your own is do the wheel alignment setup, and also the height. You can adjust the height, and according to Tunku Jan, whom I interviewed earlier, lowest doesn't necessarily mean the better. Yeah, so there is a optimum point, and you have to use your experience to find that point. Of course, he is not going to share it on a public channel what he's doing. Yeah, those are trade secrets. You don't even want to ask him what tire pressure is running, because I remember the days, in the old days, tire pressures and shock absorber settings, especially for production car set racing, those are closely guarded secrets. So when I started racing in the old days, there was only one way I could go the hardest. And that was all I knew. And then after that, we started doing modification to the settings as time went by. And so tire pressures and suspension heights and all that, they are very, very closely guarded. Now, there's another thing about suspension height. When you do the height, you must also make sure that all the four wheels contact the road in the same manner. So they have things like corner weights. So the height of the suspension and the spring tension, as a result of the height, will play a role in how what type of contact your wheels are getting on the road. So you try to make the contact as equal as possible, especially across the front and rear axles. Now, brake pads, I believe, are from TRD, so they are also high performance pads, but the brake discs are standard. Okay, that was a 1 minute flag, and the marshals have 1 minute to get out of the way, and we're going to see the race start. And what you will see is, I'm not sure whether they're going to do a sighting lap, or maybe they have, but 1 minute you will see maybe the light come on and the light go off for the start. So I'm not sure whether they're going to do one sighting lap or not, but from what I heard from Freddie, all the races will be standing starts. Yesterday we had a rolling start in the rain. Yeah? Okay, 15 seconds. Okay, so there's no course car in front, so I'm not sure, but let's see whether it's the race. Okay. Oh, that's the race. Oh, that's the race, and they're going, is it? No, this is just the warm-up lap. Okay, yeah, you can see the cars weaving, and that was just what you call a practice takeoff. Yeah, scrub your tires a little bit and burn the clutch. So you can see row one, Freddie Ang's at the on the top left, and William Ho 39 is second, followed by Boy Wong, Brendan Paul, Mark Darwin, and Tunku Jan in sixth position. And there are two more at the bottom. We'll see who they. I think one is Shafiq Ali, and the other one it would be Kenny Lee. Yeah. So they will have to come back to the start and get into the position again, and then they will start on the lights. Yeah, okay. So number 7 and 8 is Kenny Lee and Shafiq Ali. Shafiq in 7 and Kenny in 8. Okay, that's the chicane part at the back part of the track, and you see those little bollards. Well, yesterday I think Freddie Ang was hauled up for touching one of the bollards during the race. Yeah, but I don't think there was any penalty for him. So because in a race anything can happen to your car. Yeah, you can momentarily lose control, things like that. And so Tunku Jan has a tough job. He needs to stay in the race to gain some points, and he needs to overtake a couple of cars if he can to consolidate the points. Anyway, he is a veteran racer, and I'm sure he will do it quite well. Okay, so they're coming to the start. You can see the suspension is moving a little bit, so the road is a little bit bumpy. Okay, so Freddie is on a little bit in front, about one car length in front of the second car, and the first corner is a right-hander. I wonder if the pole position should be on the other side. But anyway, that's how the cookie crumbles. You can see there, the first bend is a right hand, and they're going, and they're off. And okay, Freddie closes the door to take the defensive line, and he's through. Okay, so that's the way, man. You are allowed to do that, to take your racing line because you're in front. And that's quite neat. So the whole weekend has been all right. There hasn't been any what you call turn one incidents. And well, the organizers have been a bit strict with all this touching, yeah. So if you do any intentional touching, oops, now that was one. That is what I call an unintentional touch. And I think that was Jan. Oh no! He looks like he's in trouble. Okay, so there's some effect on his car, and that was Jan who hit the wall. So there you go, guys. Anything can happen in a race, yeah. And that was Jan, and he's now relegated down to 8th position. Oh, all right. So. Okay, looks like race is over for Jan. You'll be 0 points, and that's car number 21. And 21 is 21 is Boy Wong. Okay. Okay, so there's some jostling for position here, and I'm sure there's some touching. Oh! That was car number 22 and 63. 22 is Boy Wong. 22 is Brendan Paul, and 63 is Mark Darwin. Okay, Mark Darwin is alongside and takes him on the inside. Wow, that's something fantastic. And another car went through. Oh, wow, this is really super driving, man. Okay, I think that's Shafiq Ali, and he's taking the inside line again. And Tunku Jan is missing.
He is fighting his way up the grid right now. He knows that as long as he can take the win here in race number 2, he will be in a fighting chance.
So Mark Darwin is trying to bring the race closer to Tunku Jan. Now that Tunku Jan is changing the tire. Okay, he's going to change the tire and go in, but I'm not sure whether he can actually make any impact on the race after losing about a lap, yeah. And so we'll see what happens. And Okay, that was the one. It was just a self-inflicted wound.
Himself and that concrete wall. So that big impact is
So,
caustic.
yeah, no contact. He just did it all by himself. Maybe tires were a little bit cold. And anyway, the race goes on, and Freddie Ang is doing a good job holding off car number 39. And 39 is William Ho. Okay, so he's got a bit of a gap to the next guy, which is Boy Wong in car number 21, yeah.
Brandon Paul telah pun berlanggar tadi dengan Mak Darwin, tapi kehandalan Brandon Paul dan Mak
Okay, go Freddie, go Freddie. Okay, Freddie is the youngest driver in the whole bunch there. I think maybe he's a couple of years younger than Mark Darwin. Okay, both of them are under 30, and so Freddie is the younger of the two, and that's him going around the corner. Oops! That's a replay, and that was Boy Wong who went into a half spin, and he actually puts up his hand to apologize to other people. That's good sportsmanship, yeah, from Boy Wong. He actually apologized by putting out his hand. Yeah, you had to drive the car fast and still put your hand out. Okay, he must only do it between gear changes. Well, maybe the policeman will give him a summons for taking his hand off the steering wheel. And yeah, this was the corner that took out Jan. And there are 19 laps to go. And Boy Wong is still in third. Mark Darwin is in fourth. Brandon Paul is in fifth. And Shafiq Ali is in sixth. Kenny Lee is seventh. And Tungu Jan is in last place. I think he should be back on the track. But let's see whether he can catch anybody. Because all he needs to do is overtake two people and to get into sixth position, and he will still get some points. Or if two people break down and fall out, he can still get sixth position and still maybe get some point, yeah? But anyway, there it is. That's Shafiq Ali. And okay, Brandon Paul just clocked the fastest lap, 116.646. And we have done lap 4, and Freddie Ang is still in the lead. Okay, that is Shafiq Ali right now, last in the convoy, other than Jan, who is actually behind him. So he is in 7th place, I think. No, Shafiq is in 6th, and 7th is Tungu Jan, and we have Kenny Lee, who is in 8th. So Kenny Lee has also pitted, and he is another lap behind Jan. Jan is 2 laps behind the race leader. And wow. So they are driving very fast. Freddie looks pretty cool, and he's driving it very, very cleanly. Just stay on the track, yeah? And he knows that it's difficult to overtake, so he takes his time changing lane and make sure that he uses up all of the road. So that is race strategy, and you're allowed to do that. It's perfectly legal because anyway, even if he opened the door, it's not so easy to overtake. Okay, Jan is back, and we're not sure whether the car will handle well because he might have bent something, yeah? So wheel alignment will be out, and the car will be difficult to drive. But here we see Freddie Ang taking his line and doing a beautiful job keeping William Ho behind him. Okay, so William is not close enough to make any impact, and so actually what Freddie did was he took the right line, but William Ho took the wrong line, and that is going to lose him some distance. So Freddie is young, but he is also a well-trained driver, and his brother also races in the supercar races overseas, and so both of them cut the teeth on grass racing, autosports, autocross. So and Freddie Ang also works as a driving instructor for some of the events held in Kuala Lumpur, and he is actually doing very, very well. This is only his second season, yeah, in racing the Gazoo, and he started last year. Made a few mistakes here and there and hit some walls, but this year he's doing fine, and he's very quick, and all he has to do is hold this position. Now, remembering that the difference between the first and the sixth car, there's less than a second separating them in terms of driving skills, as was shown during the qualifying race. Yeah, and so that is a fight between 22 and 7. Okay, there's Shafiq Ali chasing Brandon Paul. Okay, looks like Brandon Paul's car is a little bit slower, and he's taking his line to block, and wow, there's touching, and wow, that was a fantastic move by Shafiq Ali. Well done. Okay, this is bracing at its best, but obviously it looks like Brandon Paul's car is lacking in some department. Yeah, it's not as fast, and you can see already Shafiq Ali is already pulling away. So there must be some mechanical issue with Brandon Paul's car, and these things happen, yeah. During racing, if you just clip the wall slightly, you may not have any damage, but your car handling changes, and you can see here Brandon Paul moves across, but Shafiq Ali just dives into the inside line. So it's a bit of lack of concentration on the part of Brandon Paul, okay, and things like this happen in races. Yeah, so you can't say, yes, it's true, it's difficult to overtake, but it can be done, and it has been done. Okay, so you can see now Brandon Paul is trying to chase to catch Shafiq Ali, and Shafiq Ali has improved to 5th position. And up at the front, Freddie Ang is still leading. 7 laps have been done and 15 laps to go, and he is 1.5 seconds ahead of William Ho, and Boy Wong is another second behind, or 0.9 of a second behind. And this, if Freddie keeps his cool and just keeps on doing this, it's fine. And do I see his wing mirror slightly bent? Yeah, looks like maybe he also, yeah. Freddie Ang has folded his wing mirror. Doesn't look like there's any damage, but that means he has used up all of the road, yeah. And that is Tunku Jan. Yeah, he's running at the back, and but what he needs to do is improve one position, yeah. So it's going to be difficult to catch the cars because they're only 22 laps, and even if you're 1 second faster, it's only 22 seconds. You are not going to catch the cars, but he's always hoping that hoping for some attrition, yeah. So all he needs now, he's in 7th position. All he needs is for one car to break down or slow down, and he will be able to get 6th position, and that will give him some minimum points. If 2 cars break down, he can maybe get the 5th position. So he is there, hanging in there, and that is what motor racing is all about. You never give up, okay? It ain't over till it's over. And so we see the leaderboard remains unchanged, with Freddie Ang getting a comfortable 1.4 seconds, and all he has to do is maintain this, and as long as there's a 1.4 seconds behind between him and the car behind, he will be quite confident. But that is no reason for him to let off anything, yeah. He has to be vigilant. And okay, so as you can see now, they're on lap 9 and 13 more to go, but the tires are getting hot, and the road is getting hot, and the brakes are getting hot. So this is the time when things start happening, when cars start going sideways, you know, all on their own accord. Yeah, and so, but it looks like Freddie Ang has got it under control. He's maintaining the gap. Yeah. So he doesn't want to drive too hard, because you overdrive the car, you can end up in trouble. And now he's using all of the road. You can see all the first 3 cars are going over the line after the chicane, yeah. So, well, there's no rule about going over the line as long as you don't go off the road. And Freddie Ang is getting a slightly bigger gap. He's gained a 0.1 of a second. 0.1 of a second in the previous lap. and so the gap has widened between him and William Ho, and Boy Wong is another 1 second behind William Ho. So this is a very, very interesting race to watch, and of course, remembering that William Ho was in 5th position, and Freddie was in 6th position yesterday. So now they will get a chance to get points. Yeah. So technically, if in this respect, if Freddie Ang gets 1st position and Tunku Jan gets 6th position, then the points they score towards this race, this championship will be exactly the same, because both will have got a 1st and 6th position. But right now, Tunku Jan is in 7th position. So if Freddie Ang wins the race today and Tunku Jan remains in 7th position, Freddie Ang technically gets a bit more points than Tunku Jan did. But of course, he is quite far down the championship points. The man who is trying to close the gap is actually Mark Darwin, yeah, and Brandon Paul. So now, but of course, the race is all in favor of Freddie Ang at the moment. And of course, to us, it doesn't matter who wins. We just want to know who finishes the race and in what position. So yes, I do know Freddie Ang, but well, I do hope that he wins. But anyway, anybody who wins the race is good. And you notice the 2 cars between number 3 and 39, they took different lines going into the previous turn. So this is not the first time it has happened. So we'll watch it again. Wow, that's Shafiq Ali going really close to the wall. Yeah, I recognize his car because it's yellow. Okay, that's Shafiq Ali, and he is driving with a lot of spirit. He is going and really throwing the car around the corners. So he seems to have come to grips with the car. Look at it. Okay, that's Shafiq Ali behind Mark Darwin, and that is number 7 behind number 63. And he's closing the gap slightly. Okay, there he is. You can't really see the gap now, but it does look like he's closer. Okay, in the last lap, according to Crispy, he has made up 1 second, which is quite a lot. And of course, in racing, this one is a very hot day, and things happen in the car. And we are looking at humans who are driving their hearts out, and of course, lack of concentration or something like that, and or a bit of a wrong line. And you see, but you can see Shafiq Ali is really driving very hard. Look at it, the car is going sideways through the corner. Yeah, wow, look at that. Whoa, that's really close. He's driving very, very fast. Yeah. Wow, that's some good driving from Shafiq Ali. Okay, battle for 4th position between Shafiq Ali and Mark Darwin. And right now, you see, okay, that is Freddie Ang and William Ho. Okay, let's go and watch the corner. As I said earlier, okay, they take 2 different lines for that corner. Is a right-hander, not this one, but they are going. Okay, it looks like William Ho is also closing in onto Freddie Ang. Okay, because it's a very hot day and they are all suffering in the heat. And okay, so this was the corner where they are taking different lines. So Freddie Ang and William Ho take different lines, and William Ho is closing in and he's having a look, and you can see the lines are different between the 2 cars. Yeah, this is the corner, and Freddie takes a wider line and then he brings it right in, and you can see William Ho is really trying very hard with his car sliding all over the place. And he's getting closer and closer, and they are really slogging it out. So this is not a follow me home race. Yeah, you can see that William Ho is really trying, really trying, and the 2 of them are actually, you see how they slid over the line there, and they're actually building up a gap to car number 3, who is Boy Wong. So the two cars fighting in front are actually going faster than the third car, and there you see Mark Darwin and Shafiq Ali, and Shafiq Ali is getting very, very close, and now this is the difficult part. How do I get past? Yeah, I can get to his tail, but how do I get past? But he is getting closer, but Shafiq has done that to Brendan Paul before, so maybe he can do the same thing again to Mark Darwin at the same bend. So this is a question of going in on the inside, yeah, going hot, taking a narrower line, and there you see car number 39 is taking a different line from car number 3, and here you see Shafiq Ali going around. Oh, this is a parabolic bend, very, very long right-hander into a left-hander, and you can see Shafiq Ali, he's got his tail out, and so he's throwing caution to the winds and chasing. Okay, this was, I think, where he took Brendan Paul earlier, and now he's following Mark Darwin through the corners, and he's really nose to tail, and they are going at it hammer and tongs. So this race is getting to be very, very exciting. In fact, the super sporting class is the most exciting race amongst the three, and you can see Shafiq Ali, I think he touched. Okay, he just gave Brendan Paul, Mark Darwin a little push to tell him, I'm here, let me through, mate. And wow, they are really going at it, and you can see, okay, right in the front, Freddie Ang is doing all he can to hold back William Ho, and Shafiq Ali is right on the tail of Mark Darwin, and let's see if there's going to be some action here. He's really, really slipstreaming on his tail, and he's going on the inside, and he does it. Well done. Wow, that was some racing, man. And they didn't even touch. Yeah. Okay, well done. And Brendan Paul, oh, somebody hit the wall at the back. Who is that? Behind 63, Brendan Paul. Yeah, he touched the wall. So sometimes you get taken up in the race, and Shafiq Ali is the best driver today, and he has really overtaken two cars in this race. Okay, here's a replay of the overtaking. Look at it, taking on the inside, and he did it. And of course, Mark Darwin gave him room to get through because Mark also wants to have a clean race and finish, because he wants to finish the race and also get some points too. And because Mark Darwin has to finish the race, because if he does, he will get points more than Tunku Jan, and he's chasing Tunku Jan going into the last round. So that was a really good action, and looks like they have kind of like settled down, and but Shafiq Ali is not giving up. He is chasing Boy Wong. Oh my gosh, today he's on fire, man. Oh, Shafiq Ali is on fire. Oh, and it's easy to recognize his car because it's green and white. Yeah, it's the only green and white car. And over in the front, William Ho is right on Freddie Ang's tail, and he has gained 0.6 of a second since we last looked at it, so he's only 0.967 seconds away from Freddie Ang. But of course, you look at the way Freddie is driving, he is Mr. Cool, man. He is Mr. Cool, and he's not flustered. You can see his steering movements very, very stable, and you can see his head is very steady in the seat, so he is taking it very cool. Not very, very excited about it. In order to be fast, you need to be cool, and Freddie Ang is doing a pretty good job. He's got 5 laps to go, and you can see the two of them taking different lines around this corner, yeah? So Freddie takes a wider line and comes in, yeah, there are different lines, and luckily Shafiq Ali wasn't there, because yeah, Shafiq Ali would have gone in on that side. Okay, Freddie, if you see Shafiq Ali coming, you better take a tight line. Okay, wow, there you are. first and second. First, there's a big battle for first place between Freddie Ang and William Ho, and for third place, Shafiq Ali is chasing down Boy Wong, and he's getting close, very very close. Okay, not close enough yet, but he's making it. Okay, 5 laps to go. He's got to try. Oh, he's coming. Oh, he's very close now. Okay, very very close, right up the tail. Okay. Well, I bet you Tungu Jan is hoping they take this. No, Tunku Jan's only hope of getting any score right now is if anybody take each other out. Yeah. So, and usually, oh, okay. Tunku Jan is in 6. Yes. Okay, he's in the points, and so he will score exactly the same points as Freddie Ang if Freddie Ang wins. And there's Shafiq Ali. Wow, look at the tire dust on the road as he swept through. And he's coming very, very close to Boy Wong. And Shafiq Ali seems to be on fire. Oh. Yeah, but having said that, Boy Wong is also a veteran racer, and he is doing his best to stay ahead. Bearing in mind that it is very, very difficult to overtake. And wow, that was a bit of a tail out. He is really driving very, very hard, and he's trying to get closer and closer. Yes, he's very much closer now. He's very, very close now, and let's see what happens. And okay, Freddy is still safe in first place, and he's coming closer. Okay, let's wait for the parabolic bend, which is gonna come soon. Now he's gonna do a feint. He'll pull to the left, and then he will cut into the right. Oh, a bit early. Okay. He's gonna do the feint again, where he will pull to the left, and then his Boy Wong is gonna close the door, and he's gonna go to the right. Oh! Wow! Oh, okay. Well, never mind. He's still got 3 laps to go. Oh, okay. Boy is a crafty racer. He's a good racing driver, and okay, let's see what happens now. Oh, right now he's touching the bumper. He's right on the bumper of Boy Wong. This is first class racing, man. And okay, all right, man. Okay, he's right on the tail, and let's see what happens. Okay, I'm just keeping quiet and watching. Okay, this is where the action comes. Okay, and he's going to pull to the left, and Boy Wong will shut the door, and then he will pull to the right. No, he doesn't. This one coming up now to the right. Oh, here we go, and they're catching up on William Ho. All right, go. Oh, this is top-notch racing, guys. And who said production car racing is dull? Okay, it's only 1.5 liter, only 107 horsepower, but this is racing at its best. And we are seeing 2 laps to go, and look at it. Okay, Shafiq Ali is right on his tail, and it's bumper to bumper, and he's got one more chance. Wow, this is really nice. Thanks to Shafiq Ali to show us what racing can be like, and it's just as exciting. Okay, even if he doesn't get past, he's still the hero of the day. Yeah, he overtook 2 cars in the very tight circuit, and he's going for his 3rd one. And let's see what happens. Okay, Boy Wong's going to close the door, and he's going to cut in. No, he's not. He's not close enough. Just not close enough. Yeah, everything gets hot, because if you drive very hot, you lose grip on your tires. Then you got to ease off for a while, and let's see what happens. Yeah, the last lap to go, and well, Boy Wong is not going to give in so easily. Whoa! Wow, that was some good driving, and Wow. And because of that fight, they are catching up with William Ho. Okay, so that's it. Okay, that's Freddie Ang coming into the win, and we are very close to the last, the start-stop straight, and Freddie Ang has done very, very well. Okay, just because there's no action doesn't mean he was driving slow, yeah? And right now you see William Ho has kind of like given up, and there's the checkered flag, and let's see who is in second. That's second, and wow, very, very close. Wow, what a race that was, man. That was quite a good race. It makes coming all the way to Batu Kawan worth it. Okay, folks, that's the end of the race, and this is wow. There's a dent on the car. There's a dent on the back of number 63. Yeah. Yeah. There was the bumper went in, and this is excellent drive by all the drivers. We feel a little bit sorry for Tunku Jan, but he is in sixth position and he scores exactly the same points as Freddie Ang. And congratulations to Freddie Ang. And William Ho in second place, and for Toyosu Racing, and of course we have that's William Ho and Boy Wong, number 21 in third position. Shafiq Ali for driving a beautiful race, and then Mark Darwin is in fifth, and Tugu Jan is in sixth. Brendan Paul seventh, and Kenny Lee is well, he looks like a DNF because he's 21 laps behind. And there you go. So that's the end of the Super Sporting Class Race 2. So stand by later. We'll be covering the Sporting Class, which is going to be really, really exciting too. All right, guys. Till we meet again. Bye.